Family, welcome to the channel. The channel's Mr. Biscuit Speaks. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Preemptively, comment. Let me know if Linkin Park is what you're here for. You know what rhymes with Linkin Park? Leaves a mark. Yeah, Linkin Park leaves a mark. They kind of leave you a little bit different than you were before. And I think, I have a theory that the reason for that is because Linkin Park doesn't really answer any of the tough questions. They just meet you there. Don't you guys, shouldn't there be more people like that who, instead of assuming they have the answers to the problems, will just kind of meet you in the problem space and feel it with you? I think that's the authentic definition of compassion. That's why we miss groups like Linkin Park and Audio Slave and, I don't know. It's these bands, they just had the capacity to say, hey, I'm there with you in it, regardless of the fact that neither of us seems to see a way out. Is that fair? Guys, we're going to get into it. The song is Waiting for the End by Linkin Park. Without any further ado, we're going to let them cook. Yo, this is Linkin Park vibes. I'm just letting you know off the top, right? And I know that I just got off the hybrid theory thing, but the right? It does kind of give me the Linkin Park vibes. You know what I'm saying? Very consistent. Yeah.
Like a riot rocking every revision, but you listen to the tone and the violent rhythm, and though the words sound steady, something empties within them. We say,
wait a second. Please let Mike cook. I'm loving the evolution of the lyrical style here. I mean, this kind of sounds like some island, I'm loving that. I'm gonna let Mike cook. I'm gonna go back a couple bars.
like a riot rocking every revision.
Let's go.
But you listen to the tone and the violent rhythm, and though the words sound steady, something empties within them. Say yeah, with fists flying up in the air, like we're holding on to something that's invisible there. Cause we're living at the mercy of the pain and the fear, until we get it, forget it, let it all disappear.
That line was fire. Fists held up in the air like we're holding on to something that's invisible there. That's dope. That's a brilliant, concept for the fist in the air, which a lot of rock groups have used, rock and rap, groups have used the power fist, that sign of revolution and resistance, like we're holding on to something invisible. That's fire. Faith, of course, being the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of the unseen. You're holding on to an invisible thing. Talk to me, Mike.
Living at the mercy of the pain and the fear, until we get it, forget it, let it all disappear. Waiting for the end to come, wishing I had strength to stand. This is not what I had planned. It's out of my control.
Okay, I'm getting something completely different from Chester here than I was from Mike. And maybe that's just me. Maybe I should have been listening a little bit more closely rather than kind of bouncing to the beat. But it seems like Chester is kind of taking us to the darker side of this song, but it seems like we took kind of a turn when the beat let go and then, Chester started to sing here. Let me know. I could be wrong though. No, I need to hear that transition once more, please, sir.
Get it, forget it, let it all disappear. Waiting for the end to come, wishing I had strength to stand. This is not what I had planned. It's out of my control. Flying at the speed of light, thoughts were spinning in my head. So many things were left unsaid. It's hard to let you go.
And guys, immediately, of course, Chester talks about things that all of us can relate to. He says, my mind is spinning faster than the speed of light. When you're depressed, when there's sorrow or when there's something unresolved, your mind is just spinning 1,000. You don't know how to turn it off. And then lo and behold, you confuse yourself for your thoughts. You identify with that racing. That leads to an exhaustion. We all can understand that.
It's hard to let you go. I know what it takes to move on. I know how it feels to lie. All I wanna do is trade this life for something new, holding on to what I haven't got. Sitting in an empty room, trying to forget the past.
Guys, this is already probably the most beautiful Linkin Park song I've come across. In terms of the sonic beauty, I'm loving what they're doing with the drums. There's hope, there's drive, there's transparency. You know what I'm saying? I'm just loving the choices that they're making sonically. Even this harmony between Mike and Chester here.
Sitting in an empty room, trying to forget the past. This was never meant to last. I wish it wasn't so. I know what it takes to move on. I know how it feels to lie. All I wanna do is trade this life for something new, holding on to what I haven't got. Yeah. What was left when that fire was gone? I thought it felt right, but that right was wrong. All caught up in the eye of the storm and trying to figure out what it's like moving on. And I don't even know what kind of things I said. My mouth kept moving and my mind went dead. So picking up the pieces now, where to begin? The hardest part of ending is starting again.
Bro, this song is super fire. This might be my favorite Linkin Park song. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know how long this is after Hybrid Theory. Talk to me in the comments below. Should we go into whatever album this was on? Was this entire album fire? Man, this one was really, really special. And once again, it's like in perfect, Linkin Park fashion. I mean, there was this era of music where they didn't give us answers. They just kind of met us in the problem space and said, "I'm here too." Right? You don't get easy answers to life's big questions with Linkin Park.
Things I said, my mouth kept moving and my mind went dead. So picking up the pieces now, where to begin? The hardest part of ending is starting again.
That's so beautiful. Bro, that was magnanimous. I don't even know if I'm using that word correctly. I'm likely not, but hear me out. Guys, with that track, especially with the way that Mike came in at the end. I mean, because of course, the song is called Waiting for the End, and Mike starts by saying the end is like the beginning. He's giving you a hint that he's bringing that back in the end of the song. But when he brings that back at the end of the song, man, it's such an honest track because Chester He's yelling out his heartbreak over the circumstance, right? You can live in that contradiction, right? We live in a world that's kind of inundated with, like, we want to be consistent, right? It's like you can't simultaneously be hopeful and grieving. It's like, yes, you can, right? This song is a demonstration of that fact. Like, and I think Mike's rapping, like the how light I feel. Even though, he's talking about some deep stuff in those raps, right? I just feel light. I feel like I want to bounce to that rap. But then, when Chester comes in with that pain, you know what I'm saying? That's there right alongside of the hope, right? And they make this beautiful harmony when they're put together. They're not, this contradictory thing where you have to pick a side. Waiting for the end. Guys, should we dive immediately into the album? What album is that off of? Talk to me. Family, like, comment, share, subscribe. Hype this video if that option is available. If you did enjoy it, head over to the Patreon where we will be dropping the album once we listen to it. Support your boy. Till next time, stay balanced, fam.